Welcome to the 2013 June Hugh Crumpler's Florida Trophy Pro Bass Fishing Report. This is a typical morning on Stick Marsh and Farm 13. Here the water's running at the spillway. The fella in the other boat's holding up a 5-3, although it's a little hard to see. Here's another boat. When the water's running in the spillway, the fish are stacked up and biting, and everybody is catching. It's really a thrill. June was that kind of month. This is the largest fish we caught that day. We caught it on a deep diving crankbait, as you can see beside the fish in the photo. Awesome fishing. Awesome fishing. On another day, here's one that caught on a chug bug before daylight. This was a day I got out there by myself. This was a day in which there was a little bit of rain. The hurricane was going across Florida north of us. Here's a picture of the spillway. Of course, you can't see the spillway because it was still dark when I got there. Those little reflections are rain. You can see in the next picture, I tried to take a picture of the storm in the background, but all I got was the rain and the outboard in the foreground. Here's another rain picture. It was really quite a thrill. It's rain that makes the spillway work, so that's what we want. Is we want some rain. Don't really want it on us when we're fishing, but we want some rain. There's one I caught on a buzzbait out of the eelgrass. I was just out there hunting around, poking around, seeing what I could find, seeing what would happen. Got so wet, had to go home. That's a chain pickerel that I caught on a long A. Pretty nice size for a chain pickerel. This is a trip coming up with Dave and his son Tim. Of course, you see the water's running. We went right to the spillway, and Dave and Tim had a pretty good day. Caught lots of fish, all on artificials. There's Tim's first bass, or one of Tim's bass. Really nice fishing around the spillway when the water's running. There's a pretty good sized fish that Dave caught. Not as quite as big as the biggest one that Tim caught, but a really nice bass. There were lots of nice bass out there that day. Here's Tim's largest. As you can see, it's a really nice bass. Tim was sure proud of that. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. No rain this day. A little bit of clouds, as you can tell. Here's a double. Dave's unhooking one. Tim's about ready to release one. Here's Tim with another one. These just come along one right after another. It happens that way at the spillway. Sure is fun when it does. Usually it's Carolina rigs or rattle traps, sometimes deep diving crankbaits, sometimes a chug bug, sometimes a long A. Here they are both with another double. As you can see, Tim's has got his head out of the water. There's another double. They just kept catching them. I didn't mind. I operated the camera more than I did the rod and reel that day. Here's Tim with another nice bass. Not quite as large as his largest, but a really nice bass. We'd all like to have those every day. Of course, at Stick Marsh you do. Here's some more fish. Another nice double for the boys. That's the spillway, so you see what it looks like. Water coming out. You can see the current. Sometimes you want to throw your bait right up against that wall. Wasn't the case this day, but sometimes you want that bait right on the wall. Here's another day. This is one when I'm by myself, or I wouldn't be holding in such a peculiar position taking a fish. Pretty nice bass. This was another day at the spillway. As you can see, the gentleman's there in the aluminum boat. He's just working that area. I was down a little bit. Wanted to get a nice photo. Those are culverts where those metal railings are. They look white, but they're aluminum. Where they're sticking up, there's a culvert out from each one, and sometimes those culverts run. This is an area where the eelgrass is. That smooth area is where the eelgrass is topped out. Now that's probably 50-60 acres of eelgrass. Now if you could put it in your mind, when they spawned, there were beds everywhere in there. Not just here and there, everywhere. It looked like somebody dropped a whole bunch of little bitty bombs all over. There were so many beds. This is Stevie. Yes, Steve brought Stevie down to catch some fish. Steve wanted to do that. I'm happy he had a real nice fish. That's his first one. We got into him about as quick as we got to the fishing spot, but it actually kind of slowed down and we had to move. Once we moved, we started catching real good. There's Steve with a nice fish. You can tell by the grin on his face. He's a happy camper. That's what we want, happy fishermen. There's Steve with a double. Pretty good deal. He caught one, still holding it, and the rod shiner ate it. This day, for about 2 hours, I could not bait and pitch the shiners out there as fast as the bass were eating them. And working the camera was pretty tough. There they are with a double, father and son. Steve and Stevie. Really good fishing that day. The water was not running. We were in the spillway area and the water was not running, but the fish were still stacked up in there. Another double. And we're coming back to the morning picture again, same one you saw before, but this is actually really the day that the sun did come up that day. And what comes up every day? What's the matter with me? We know that. Really nice sun up. There's some reeds. There's about 4 of these reed patches out there, and it just happened that I found one really nice bass in each patch of those reeds. You know, we're talking 5 to 6 pound fish. I was pitched in there. You can see I was pitching a white fluke. I'll keep my secrets. Don't tell anybody now. I like to pitch a fluke. I like to pitch it in there. It looks like a minnow going through when it goes in there. There we go. There's another one. They look like the same fish, but they're all just about the same size. There's one in each patch of reeds. Once again, it's Hugh Crumpler's Florida Trophy Pro Bass Fishing. The website's www.hugh-crumpler.com. You can get me at hughcrumpler3@gmail.com or 321-626-6174. Pro Bass Fishing Report from Stick Marsh and Farm 13. No, this ain't gonna work.